Me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Bakoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of Black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
Super. My praying mama proud of a little black boy. We headline a club on the sneakers and back doors. Walk through the kitchen, got plenty ink on our passports. And not to mention our queens ain't pushing no rap for us. What you think I rap for? I'm building my legacy. Text from my heroes, hate legacy. Chase bread, my pockets got legacy. Foreign land with my brother, that's pedigree. Cause we
work hard, play hard. We work for the days off. Make time to take off. Circle right back for the payoff. Oh, work hard, play hard. We work. Now we paid up. Make time to lay up. Ain't worried about what anybody says.
KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to First Things First. I'm James Farr. I am sitting in for Dominique DePrima this week, bringing you election coverage. We're talking with candidates. We're talking with community. And as we are waiting our next guest, Andrew Cheng, who is a candidate for Los Angeles County Mayor, City of Los Angeles Mayor. I wanted to pull in a good brother in the community who I'm not going to pretend I know very well, but I know his story very well. And he is a member of Black Lives Matter Grassroots and Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. And what I get from him every time I see him is, I think it really speaks to what his name projects him to be. He's really just a calm spirited individual, but paying attention. Yeah. Like he peeping everything. He's out there in them streets. He's active as an activist and community member. Prince Akili, good morning, brother.
Good morning. Hi. Nice to see you, James.
Absolutely. I just want, I want to query you. So, just a little bit more about you. What am I missing from your backstory? Who is Prince Akili?
Well, first and foremost, my name is Prince Akili. I come from Black Lives Matters organization, Grassroots. Now that I have been free from incarceration, from doing a 30-year sentence, I was incarcerated for 17 years. I was eventually was found innocent of the crime that which I was being accused of allegedly. Well, one of the things that a lot of people miss about myself, what I bring to the table, I am the face of the community when it comes to juveniles being charged as an adult. Mm-hmm. I was a juvenile charged as an adult at the age of 15 years old. I was under the cabinet of George Gascon when he was building a proactive program to free individuals that was juveniles, that was in the judicial system, who was sentenced unjustly. Mm-hmm. I was one of the ones that he pointed out, was able to view over my case and seeing the incorrect sentencing laws that was put out, such as 10-year gang enhancements, 10-year gun enhancements, and only 9 years for an actual crime, right? So when you see that the enhancements are boosted up over an sentence, we know that the criminal justice system and the judicial system by itself has been abused, has been utilized to weapon themselves and separate the communities within the family. And what I mean by separation, when you have institutional racism, mass incarceration, and things like that, and no programs into the community, we are forced to be in jail or incarceration. So they use that as a tool.
At 15, you were charged for a crime.
Right.
You were prosecuted for a crime.
Correct.
You were convicted.
Correct.
For a crime. And then you received a 30-year sentence.
Correct.
You served 17
Correct.
of those 30 years, only to find out, or the court learned what?
Well, what I learned was that prior from them saying that I allegedly committed the crime, they was already building a system in the 2000s around Bill Clinton era to start juveniles charged as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if you was a person that just stole a candy bar out of a store, and you was with maybe someone that was older, or you was with a crowd of people, just based on you was around those type of individuals or in the area, you would still be charged as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So those are key forms that they utilize in being charged as a juvenile. So it wasn't so much of the crime that be committed, it's the environment that plays a part,
Mm-hmm.
The people that was allegedly around you, and also what the victim says, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what gave me the juvenile charge as an adult part was that instead of me being sentenced just for an actual crime,
Mm-hmm.
let's say if it was just like a battery, or let's say if it was like a robbery or anything in that nature, just based on they stated that I was a gang member, which they had no FII card, which is the identified card to say you was a gang member, that gave me 10 years. So, and then they said I had a firearm. Remind you, they never even found a firearm at the scene or in the midst of the incident. That gives you another 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So based on the amount of time that you hold, it knocks you out of the bracket of being looked at as a juvenile. So that's where they put you in the bracket as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm looking at this life sentence rather than being looked at juvenile charge as an adult, which is about 25 years old, and then you can go home. So that's how I got caught in that rabbit hole.
And so 17 years, how did you learn that you were being released? Like, explain that moment to me. What not the moment of being released, but what was the legal process? Well, I'm missing some gaps.
Well, the legal process was this. When I first came into incarceration, I was illiterate, for one. I had any comprehension of the law.
I've read stuff you wrote.
Well, this is how I learned it, right?
Okay. All right.
It's because I knew that I wanted to be more than what the community and what the court was saying that I was as an individual. So my mother began sending me books. I started going back to school, things like that. So when I started getting this material, I'm also learning how to read, and I'm learning how to study. But I knew that when I fully learned how to read and study, I wanted to be meaningful. So in my situation, what would be meaningful is law. So my family began to only send me law books. So once I'm learning, the language of English, the Latin, part of it, just the basics. It's like a raw onion just coming into a situation. It is going to fry up everything. So I'm just sucking all this information in. So long story short, I filed my first writ of habeas corpus when I get to Pelican Bay after I leave from YA, because based on that I was
Wait a minute, you went from YA to Pelican Bay?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
As a juvenile,
because once I got sentenced, you had to send me to an adult court. So I did about 7 to 8 years in Pelican Bay. But prior from that, let's not go too far, right? In juvenile hall and YA and all these things, by me going in and out of the hole and things like that, I'm reading these books. So I get to Pelican Bay now, and man, it was a very harsh environment, a lot of wars, a lot of racial problems, and I then learned that it was never about Bloods and Crips, and now it's about black and white. So my whole perspective was changed once I got to prison, and I learned law. Once I learned law, I started studying law, learning the dynamics of law. I filed my first writ of habeas corpus. It was denied. So
we gonna continue this. Whether Mr. Cheng shows up or not. Now you got me right, because I never got to the legal process of how you were released in that moment.
Oh yeah,
it's
a journey.
I'm equally as curious. What little I know about institutions, I know a lot in terms of Pelican Bay, and so I'm trying to square that in my mind. This juvenile brother sitting across from me ends up in Pelican Bay. Prince Akili is sharing a little bit of his story with us right now. When we come forward, more on KBLA Talk 1580. We got your black.
Where the overlooked become unmissable. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, host of The Voice of Reason, weeknights at 7 p.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580, with a personal invitation for you to join me and Insight.me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Bakoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-575-8935. 800-575-8935. That's 800-575-8935.
Head to Waba Grill for $5 happy hour, weekdays after 3 p.m. and try our new Chili Crisp Dumplings, paired with a premium beverage drink, like our new Strawberry Watermelon Lemonade Energy Refresher, both for just $5, only at Waba Grill.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
That's right. Well, you're not waking up with Dominique DePrima. You're waking up with me, James Farr. I'm sitting in for Dominique DePrima. I know before we came forward, we had Prince Akili sitting in for us. And I got to apologize because we opened up a conversation that I can't button up. I am pleased to right now be joined in studio by Nelson Cheng, who is running for City of Los Angeles mayor. He is a behavioral interventionist and is running, as I said, for the mayoralship here in Los Angeles. He wants to work to reduce traffic, crime, homelessness, and also stop ICE after innocent, undocumented immigrants have been harassed in Los Angeles. Mr. Andrew Cheng, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. James, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. You made it over here. The traffic's a little tougher for you, right?
Yeah.
Now that's part of the things you want to eliminate.
Yeah, it's too much heavy traffic.
Too much traffic.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Next time, take Metro. It's right across the street.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Who is Andrew Cheng?
My name is Nelson Cheng.
Nelson Cheng. Who is Nelson Cheng?
Yeah, so my name is Nelson Cheng. I'm running for LA mayor to reduce traffic crime and homelessness. And as mayor, I want to stop ICE from going after innocent, undocumented immigrants, but I should go after real criminals instead. So my name is Nelson Cheng. So I'm born and raised in LA, of course, but about cars with Asian American immigrants. And I graduated at UC Berkeley with 2 bachelor degrees in social welfare and legal studies. I worked there as a member of the Sexual Violence Commission, associated to the Associate Students of the University of California, which is a student government, ASUC, of course. And from there, I graduated back in 2024. And then right now, I just work as a behavior interventionist, where I work on one-on-one sessions with children with special needs and developmental disabilities. Also, I'm a Roblox YouTuber, so my YouTube channel is Evil Heart for E. I have at least 45,000 subscribers right now. I mostly post about Roblox content and be able to help out the children as well, because I want to protect our children, like not just in LA, but also online as well.
Well, I understand politics and nothing Roblox, right? Other than my son asked for Robux or whatever it's called to pay them, and I want to get more into the issues that you want to raise and protect. But I got to ask a question. You said you went to UC Berkeley.
Yeah, UC Berkeley.
Fat slice or blondies?
What?
Pizza. Come on, you don't know fat slice or blondie?
I don't know.
Okay, all right, but then I'll leave it alone. It's some of the best pizza that you'll find in Berkeley, right on. Oh God, right off Telegraph, I believe it is. Bankrupt.
I didn't remember. Yeah, I remember. This Blondie's Pizza.
Yeah, see, there you go. We're on the same page. So you said you are running because what is the issue with traffic other than it encumbered you this morning? How can we reduce traffic in Los Angeles?
So I was thinking, in order to reduce traffic, I say we'll be able to encourage people to rely on public transportation by shortening the bus wait time stops, lower it to 10 to 15 minutes for every 10 to 15 minutes during the weekdays at peak times between 7 to 9 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. Those are the times when most people have to go to and off from work, from downtown LA, of course. So that way, when more people rely on the public transportation and adding more buses between those times, then we can be able to encourage more people to rely on that and to make them free. Only at those specific time, not the whole day. It's only free from 7 to 9 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. from Monday to Fridays.
So like a peak hour, kind of more service, move more people. How do you pay for that, though?
So how are we going to pay that? We're going to have to negotiate with Metro, of course, and we're going to have to be able to discuss a deal that we can be able to, having the people to be able to decide what we can do. We're going to have to negotiate with Metro, of course, and be able to see that if we can be able to add more buses, which I know Metro will definitely be able to let us do that for sure. Because, we're not going to, make the buses free all day. It's not like that. It's like, what happened in New York City? It's like,
what happened in New York? What do you mean? What happened in New York City?
In New York City, that New York City Mayor Zohar Mamdani promised for free buses.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to wait. So because right now there's no free buses, so not sure if there's going to be free buses back in New York City. Maybe we gotta wait for a year or so, or who knows. So yeah, but we'll see. But I was thinking, making the buses free during those peak times can be possible.
Can be possible.
Yep.
You certainly would lose some revenue, and I think the Metro may have some concern about that.
Yeah, especially 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week.
20 hours a week, yes, sir. Since you're a big proponent for public transportation, this kind of segue into something else you want to work on. I ride public transportation. I ride the Metro all the time, and I don't have any issues. Not everybody feels safe.
Yeah.
On Metro, and Metro may fall under their own, policing authority or security detail, and are so often. Well, we've taken the sheriff's out of there, and then you still see LAPD in there. What's your solution to make people, if you want them to get on the bus, they got to feel safe or get on public transportation?
So we're going to improve and install the new metro security system, where we're going to have a 24/7 surveillance cameras all over all over metro and inside the metro subways. Of course, we're going to need to hire security guards who will be able to take care of those who are loitering or sleeping inside the metro subways, because we don't want those homeless individuals to go inside the metro subway and just sleep there all day, because we don't want that to happen. So that's why we're going to have security to enforce them, to make sure that we need to protect our passengers across every single one of those metro lines.
Do you think maybe, if you're elected mayor and with that relationship and partnership with Metro and the county, that we can improve turnstiles, right? Improve where people don't have access, because some of the stations, a ticket isn't required, right? Yeah. And then the next contact that rider has is with law enforcement, and that could trigger a whole bunch of other things. How would you work to make the system more efficient and accessible for everyone?
So in order to make the system more efficient and accessible for everyone, I say we'll be able to, bring out the, we need to be able to have accessibility for everyone. As you know, accessibility is very important and essential for everyone who can be able to rely on public transportation. We'll be able to help out the elderly and disabled individuals as well, because I'm actually mentally disabled, but I can be able to take the public transportation. But there are many other people who are struggling to rely on public transportation, especially when struggling with finances, due to poverty and lack of convenience, of course. So that's why we'll be able to make it efficient by being able to provide the metro free only at that time, like 20 hours a week, so that way people will be able to rely on metro, so that way we could be able to reduce the amount of heavy traffic congestion across LA, especially in downtown LA. Only to shorten the bus wait time start and make them free only across downtown LA. Almost forgot.
Motorists complain about potholes, right? Pedestrians complain about cracked sidewalks, tree branches, and other things that kind of inhibit your way to moving around. So folks who are on Metro are typically on the ground. They may be on a bike. They certainly are on their feet, right? How do we fix these broken sidewalks in Los Angeles? I mean, and there's hundreds of miles, if not thousands of miles, of just cracked sidewalks and unsafe conditions.
As the next LA mayor, I will be able to fix our potholes, our sidewalks, and our streets as well. Because ever since Karen Bass took office, she has been cutting sanitation and been cutting all those street lighting and broken lights, of course, cutting funding for those. Later on, she decided to fix the street lighting, but it was too late by then, because she was overfunding the police and the homelessness, which still hasn't been fully resolved yet. So that's why I say, as the next LA mayor, I will be able to balance the budget, be able to properly support our police, firefighters, sanitation, street lights, all public works, all that stuff. So we're able to get our sidewalks fixed, and be able to make our streets safer by adding more crosswalks and curb extension, of course, for our children to stay safe at school as well.
The curb extensions is for those that may not understand what we're talking about, when we're talking about curb extensions, we're the cutouts that have the bubble domes, the yellow bubble domes on. Think of a mom and a stroller, or a dad in a stroller, right, needing to cross the street, and they have to kind of dip down. It's not safe. Think of someone who has a mobility issue, right? Yeah. But how do you speed that up, right? Like, it may take 15 years, 20 years once that project is identified. How will you find the money and make it quicker?
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, that ever since I lived in LA for a long time, it takes a very long time to do construction. Someone told me that, in the U.S., it takes a long time to make a construction, to build highways, to improve our infrastructure, and be able to taking maybe months or even years to decide to fix a sidewalk. I say that as mayor, we're gonna do it right now. We're gonna try to fix our sidewalks and streets, and that we're gonna have to make this as fast as we can, because we don't want anyone to get injured. We don't want anyone to be liable or lawsuit. We just want people to feel safe, and then that way pedestrian safety is my priority. So yeah.
Where do you see waste in the city budget? Where is Los Angeles? Mayor Bass is just announcing her proposed budget for the next fiscal year. Where do you see the waste in the budget? What are they doing right or doing wrong?
So what Karen Bass did right now, she wasted funding for the police because, like, regardless the amount of police officers, there will still be people committing crimes. Now I know there has been a small decrease of violent crimes, but let's just say if I was a criminal right now, and regardless of how many police officers, no matter if it's like 800 or 1,000 or 2,000 or so on, I could just commit crime and do shoplifting, especially because shoplifting right now is common, and that once a criminal gets arrested for shoplifting, they would just get charged as a misdemeanor according to California 3-strike policy, and then later on they just get out of prison and then they start committing crimes again. And I totally understand that a lot of people who supported me, they don't feel like they don't feel safe with the police sometimes, because especially with police brutality, because we have I heard there was a police officer who anally raped a woman or something, and it was actually very heartbroken to hear. And they were because we're spending a lot of taxpayers' money for those police. The police are supposed to help us, but instead, for some reason, there are some corrupt police officers who backstab us and just want to do their own thing. All they care about was to profit themselves, make themselves some money instead of taking care for the people. So I say, as LA mayor, I will hold the LAPD accountable of the actions and be able to terminate for those who are corrupt police cops as soon as possible. And then that way, we're going to need to be able to, to transfer the funding out of the police department and be able to what is right to help us Los Angelinos, such as to fix the sidewalks, the streets, the firefighters, especially last year. Karen Bass did not do a good job during last year's LA wildfire incident, of course, when she literally made $18 million budget cut that is literally transferred out from the LAFD to the LAPD, and literally LA was burning everywhere. My friend and his mother, they live in West Hollywood. They were almost burned down. That the Sunset Fire was almost a block away, that he and his mother will almost have to evacuate. So that's the main reason why I'm running for LA mayor, to not just only for myself, but to do this for my friends. Dude, I'm doing this for my friends and their families.
Well, I am in studio this morning with Nelson Cheng, a candidate for Los Angeles mayor. He's cooking. He's cooking, and I'm seeing the passion. We're going to continue this conversation. Sports news up next. Stay with us only on KBLA Talk 1580. We got your black.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady in what may be his final press briefing as chair. Jerome Powell said the economy is growing at a solid pace, but warned the war with Iran is adding uncertainty.
Developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty, and we will remain attentive to risks to both sides of our dual mandate.
Powell also criticized President Trump's attacks on the Fed as unprecedented. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry plans to pause May primary elections so lawmakers can redraw congressional maps after a Supreme Court ruling weakening the Voting Rights Act. The move could reshape districts ahead of the midterms and affect black political representation. And Public Enemy's legacy began in 1985, and more than 4 decades later, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers will bring the revolutionary energy to the 2026 Essence Festival. Their set will span their entire career. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Head to Waba Grill for $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. and try our new Chili Crisp dumplings paired with a premium beverage drink like our new Strawberry Watermelon Lemonade Energy Refresher, both for just $5 only at Waba Grill.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
6 days ago, the Lakers were up 3-0 on the Houston Rockets and appeared to be ready to close them out for the season. Today, the Lakers are in the uncomfortable position of having to go back to Houston for Game 6 Friday night. The Lakers are in this position after losing to the Rockets 99-93 Wednesday night in Game 5 at Crypto.com. The Lakers have a 3-2 lead in the best-of-7 series, but their momentum at the moment is non-existent. Even without Kevin Durant, the Rockets still had their way with the Lakers defense. All 5 Rockets starters scored in double figures. LeBron tried to do his part with 25 points and 7 assists. Austin Reeves playing in his first game since April 2nd, had 22 points off the bench, but Reed's return had little effect on the outcome. Later today, the Lakers will board their charter flight to Houston. Along the way, they need to figure out how to get one more win against the Rockets. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
On breakfast and collard greens, I got what you need if you want it.
Los Angeles, the wait is over. For 1 year, Lonell's Soul Food Cuisine has been feeding this community with love, and now it's time to celebrate. You're invited to the 1-year anniversary and official grand opening of Lonell's Soul Food Cuisine, where every plate tells a story and every bite feels like home. We're talking golden fried chicken, slow-cooked collard greens, cornbread straight from the oven, and desserts that'll have you calling your mama. Come through. Bring the family. Bring the neighbors. Bring everybody. Lonell's Soul Food Cuisine, 8501 Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. This is more than a restaurant. It's a celebration of culture, community, and the kind of cooking that warms you from the inside out. 1 year strong, and he's just getting started. Lonell's Soul Food Cuisine, 8501 Vermont Avenue, Los Angeles. Come hungry. Leave happy. Always.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Things are changing fast and no one knows what comes next. Times like these make you realize just how important it is to be prepared. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. They're America's #1 most trusted resource for survival food, solar power, water filtration systems, and more. Go to preparewithamerica.com to unlock a special offer that'll help you get ready for whatever comes our way. Go to preparewithamerica.com to see the special offer right now. That's preparewithamerica.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
That's right. We're definitely not blacking down. KBLA Talk 1580. James Farr, I am in for Dominique DePrima. This week, we're bringing you election coverage. We're talking to candidates all week long and beyond. As you know, ballots come out next week, like May 4th, and then the election takes place in June, the first Tuesday in June, June the 2nd, and we have to be informed. We want you to be advised. We want you to make the most informed decisions when you go into the polls in the very short time. You'll be able to mail in your ballots. But right now in studio with me is Nelson Cheng. He is running for mayor of the city of Los Angeles. And he has a plan and certainly some things that he has thought about that we need to be paying attention to. And we're unpacking his candidacy. We talked a little bit about transportation and traffic, and you're adamant about the waste that, as you articulate, the waste from Los Angeles City Mayor Karen Bass. as a result of the wildfires. You do know that the fires were started by arson.
Yes, I
Okay.
do know that.
Okay.
And I heard there was like some Edison, some dysfunction, malfunction, something, but I'm not sure about that.
No, Palisades.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Palisade was.
Palisades is arson.
Yeah, it was by arson.
Altadena, Edison.
Oh yeah,
That's the easiest way, to look at that. Unhoused Los Angeles, right? Our unhoused community. You said that when we were talking about transportation and the trains and metro and all, you would add more security or policing to help eliminate the unhoused people from sleeping or possibly loitering in the stations. What's your solution for our unhoused community members?
So my solution for those unhoused individuals is to be able to, like I said, we're gonna have to be able to get them housing, of course. In order to be able to reduce homelessness, I will be able to use abandoned warehouse and facilities and convert them to renovated homeless shelters. That way, it's cheaper than building new homes, because if you build new housing, it's gonna cost more than just billions of taxpayers' dollars, and this is the main reason why homelessness will still not be eliminated. It won't be eliminated no matter what. So that's why I was thinking if we use abandoned warehouse and facilities and convert them to renovated homeless shelters, we'll be able to save millions of dollars that could be able to get this done as soon as possible. We're going to have to find them, and then we need to be able to discuss with developers who are willing to sell them now. If they don't want to sell, then we're going to have to cut the red tape and take the abandoned warehouse and facilities and convert them to renovated homeless shelters, where we'll be able to provide services, medical and mental health services, food services, and other kind of services that we'll be able to provide and help out those homeless individuals. Now, I know there are some people who told me that homeless individuals, they don't like to play by the rules. Well, unfortunately, if they don't play by the rules, then they're gonna need, they're gonna have to be, there'll be consequences. They will either have to be sentenced to prison, or let's just say since prisons have overpopulations and there has been, lack of vacant spaces for prisons, then we'll be able to take them to the mental and behavior treatment centers, where they'll be able to be diagnosed and treated as well.
So just so I make sure that I got it, I'm tracking with you. How we address the unhoused community members would be to first acquire abandoned warehouses. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing, right? Did I get that right? Okay.
Yes.
If that doesn't work and they're not willing to play ball, I guess you would pursue eminent domain and take the properties from them.
Yeah.
Or, at a cost.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because we have those city developers who are refusing to sell those abandoned places that they don't even actually need so far, because they're hoping to wait for years just to sell, so they think they can get huge profit. So this is also the reason why homelessness was still, it would not be eliminated. So I was thinking that we just take the abandoned warehouse and facilities, if they're not willing to give them up, and then we'll be able to convert them to renovate homeless shelters as soon as possible.
Okay, so you've either purchased or eminent domain the facilities, right? Now you have this warehouse, right? Now, if the unhoused community member refuses to go there, I think you correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I heard you say then we would arrest them.
Yes, we will have to arrest them in case if they don't listen to us.
Is that really the solution, Andrew? You think, Nelson, you believe that we can arrest our way out of this problem?
Well, like I said, of course that we can't arrest them all, unfortunately, because our prisons literally don't have enough capacity for all of them, especially because I'm talking about for those who are mentally ill homeless individuals. And I feel bad for them, especially because they have different kind of mental disorder, such as schizophrenia, for example. So they are those mentally ill homeless individuals should be taken to a mental behavior treatment centers rather than just a prison. But if a homeless individual commit a crime, let's just say if they start to assault another homeless individual, or if they rape another homeless individual, then they should go to jail. Yeah, only for serious crime. But for those who are mentally ill, then they should be taken to a mental and behavioral treatment center. So I work as a behavior interventionist, but I work with children. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to improve our mental health services to be able to help out, as many as possible, as mental health is actually important.
You mentioned you work with children and the school district, and obviously the school district is an entirely different organization entity, but could there be a different relationship between the city of Los Angeles and LA Unified Schools?
So yeah, there's a difference between the city of LA and the LAUSD. So right now I work as a behavior interventionist. I work in a private company, and to be I'm not part of the LAUSD. Well, I go to LAUSD schools because they told me to go there. That's for for school cases, but sometimes I will have to do doing clinic cases, of course. But mostly I did school cases to be able to help out with children's with special needs and developmental disabilities such as autism or ADHD, for example. I know one of my former clients before, he has ADHD, and I'm friends with him in Roblox right now, and he keeps trolling me sometimes. But he's a good person. I heard he skipped a grade or so. So right now he's in 8th grade instead of 7th grade, and he's graduating middle school. And yeah, I'm hoping to be able to create an interconnection relationship between the city of LA and LAUSD, so that we could be able to, fund and properly support our education system, to fund our public schools, and be able to fund, for the homelessness problem. Well, to be honest, I feel like whatever, it doesn't matter how much amount of funding we fund for homelessness, I just feel like no matter what we do, homelessness will, like I said, will still never be fully eliminated. It won't be resolved. We could try to reduce it as much as possible, but I feel like homelessness has been worse, increasing by 30%, and Karen Bass claimed that homelessness will be reduced already, but it turns out it's not actually reduced, as right now, if you go to Skid Row right now, there has been so many homeless people, doing crazy things, tenting, and, especially there are unhoused children as well. There are some unhoused children living in Skid Row, and it's so sad to see them living in this kind of sad, harsh, brutal conditions, and I just feel like we should be able to try to house them if we can, but a lot of people will say that no matter what we do, we can't house everyone, especially because there are some homeless individuals who come from out of state, like from Texas or other states, let's just say, and just came to California. The reason why they came to California is because they made tenting legal in California, while other states are illegal. So that's also the main reason why there's been so many homeless people across California, especially in LA. So as LA mayor, we have the duty to intervene on our streets, on our sidewalks, to be able to house as many homeless individuals, put them in the permanent supporting housing, and be able to put them into renovated homeless shelters in order to make our streets safe.
How would your relationship be with the current administration, the Trump administration? I mean, he seems to be no fan of Mayor Bass, and what would, under your leadership, what would that relationship look like?
Oh yeah, thank you for asking that. So I know a few days ago, I saw the photo of Karen Bass, standing alongside with Donald Trump, and she was smiling, they were both smiling, and I just feel like she shouldn't be, I totally understand that she came to see Donald Trump just to be able to have some federal assistance for the Pacific Palisades victims, for the fire recovery of the FEMA. But to be honest, I feel like, when she was standing alongside Donald Trump, I feel like she's getting to me, I just feel like she's getting a little bit conservative when overfighting the police and stuff. But even though she's a progressive, I totally understand, and I feel like she shouldn't be smiling next to Donald Trump. But yeah, and I feel like Donald Trump, he's first of all, he's crazy. He's a war criminal. He's been doing all those crazy things that a lot of people don't really like about. For example, when he said that he's gonna lower the grocery prices. Yeah, right. I go to Costco, a bunch of eggs, like $6. Actually, no, like $7. So it's so expensive. Heaven, nah. And well, I remember when he said that, well, we won't have to fight any more wars again. Yeah, right. What do you think about the water you're on right now? Yeah, screw you, Donald Trump. Like, yeah, we don't like you, man.
That's the voice of Nelson Cheng. He is a candidate for Los Angeles mayor, and in studio, he's thought about his plan, and Nelson, I think you may have coined or recoined PC, right? And when you're speaking about Mayor Bass, you called her a progressive and a conservative all in the same. I don't think I've ever heard that. More with more election coverage, more with Nelson Cheng right here on First Things First. James Farr, I'm in for Dominique DePrima. Stay with us.
More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
You better work.
She's rooted in culture and rising in power. Los Angeles City Council member Karen D. Price Jr. invites you to the District 9 Women's Leadership Summit, a powerful gathering celebrating the women who shape our communities. Join us Sunday, May 3rd from 1 to 6 p.m. Registration is open now, but space is limited. District 9 residents receive special priority. This event is free. Call 323-846-2651 to reserve your spot. That's 323-846-2651. Be rooted, be powerful, be there.
My name is Cynthia Mitchell. I've been an emergency room nurse in Los Angeles County for 25 years. I've been there through every fire season, every outbreak, every earthquake. Every time Los Angeles needed us, the doctors and nurses of Los Angeles County showed up. And right now, I'm seeing another disaster coming. Trump's cuts to Los Angeles County's healthcare system are a public health crisis in the making. Medi-Cal, public hospitals, disaster preparedness are all at risk, but we can stop it. Measure ER fights back against these cuts. For a half a penny, we keep emergency rooms open, care within reach for working families, and doctors and nurses serving the communities we love. When you vote yes on Measure ER, you're not just voting for health care, you're voting for LA. Vote yes on Measure ER by June 2nd.
Ad paid for by Yes on ER, Restore Healthcare for Angelinos, sponsored by St. John's Community Health and Health Justice Action Fund. Ad committee top funder, St. John's Community Health.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
That's right. We're not blacking down. James Farr in for Dominique DePrima on First Things First. Welcome forward. We're in studio, powering through a full 3 hours. Candidates running from everything from Los Angeles County Sheriff to Superior Court judges, and now in studio with Nelson Cheng, who is a candidate for Los Angeles mayor, and he's laid out some of his plans for the city. Nelson, again, thank you so much for being here this morning. And
thank you.
Absolutely. Is Los Angeles ready for the Olympics?
Well, to be honest, I feel like LA may be ready for the Olympics in 2028, but it's just that it's going to require lots of taxpayers' money. Of course, it's going to require billions or even trillions, depends. And the Olympics is a very expensive project. Like, you don't have to mess with, So basically, we will have Olympics in the 2028, of course, in LA, because it's actually very important. The whole world is going to come and see it, the Olympic, as we get to see it, every single country be able to battle out against each other to see who will be able to take the gold and who will be able to take the championship, of course, in the Olympics.
Absolutely. You had listed as your priorities ICE, right, and the challenges that they're having, or the community is facing with ICE enforcement on immigrants. What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like, to be honest, if I say, I feel like I shouldn't, be here in the first place, to be honest. If I just say I want to abolish ICE, it just makes me a liar, because as mayor, I cannot abolish ICE. That's up to the federal power, not the local power. I feel like as mayor, I can try to intervene with them. I want to stop ICE for going after innocent, undocumented immigrants, but I should go after real criminals instead. They should be going after murderers, rapists, pedophiles, arsonists, drug and narcotic traffickers, gangsters, etc. But they shouldn't be going after the innocent ones who haven't committed a serious crime, such as farm workers or day workers. These are the ones they should stay in LA, of course, because right now, ever since I've been seeing some videos of ICE beating innocent civilians up, wrongfully detaining U.S. citizens, and I had to take them to the ICE detention center, and later on, once you're released, you have to walk you all the way back to where you're from. That's insane, insane ICE, I feel like ICE, they should be going after the criminals, for example, they should go after the MS-13 gang, or, those dangerous gangs, That's what happens during the Obama and Biden administration when ICE was going after criminals. But ever since Donald Trump took over as president, things have been very crazy ever since. Right now, we got a bunch of ICE. I heard there were some ICE members on from the January 6th partners. Not sure if that's true or not.
We're not sure. That's Nelson Cheng. He's a candidate for Los Angeles mayor, and he's laying it down. You're cooking today, Nelson.
Yeah.
More with Nelson. I'm gonna give you the final word. Make your final appeal to the residents of Los Angeles. Stay with us. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome forward. James Farr in for Dominique DePrima. All week we're talking to candidates who are seeking various offices, and It has been a full schedule today, and I have no favorites. I can't tell you if I have a favorite, but I have enjoyed all of the conversations. Right now in studio with me is Nelson Cheng. He is a candidate for City of Los Angeles mayor, and he's been laying his case out, right? And so ultimately the delegation will have to decide who, certainly through this first phase. Ballots go out May 4th. The election is June 2nd. Not a whole lot of time, but enough time for you to stay engaged, stay locked in right here. Mr. Cheng, again, I am grateful that you've shared with our audience and helped them to be informed. I'm going to allow you this opportunity to make your final appeal to the KBLA delegation. You got 1 minute. Can you do that for us?
So my name is Nelson Cheng, and I'm running for LA mayor. Like I said, to reduce traffic, crime, and homelessness. As mayor, I want to stop ICE from going after innocent, undocumented immigrants, but I should go after real criminals instead. And as LA mayor, I also want to protect our children as well. So that, I'm hoping to stop and remove the age verification and roadblocks, of course. We need to stop dog euthanizing, because right now, ever since Karen Bastrup's office, dogs have been being killed. Innocent dogs and kittens have been killed because they say that in order to reduce the amount of animals across the shelter, which is not fair. I say we protect our animals. And I also want to properly support our firefighters as well, because firefighters are also important. Ever since Karen Bastrup's office last year, she has been recklessly burning a lot of people in LA. So 12 people were taken, thousands of homes were burned down. So as LA mayor, I want to make a final sentence. I hope that you could be able to vote for me and also Cheng for LA mayor. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Evil Heart for E, EBIL, Evil, HEART, Heart, FUL. 4 and then space E, even though I'm not actually evil, but in Roblox. And I'm a good guy. And please follow my Instagram, Nelson Cheng for LA Mayor 2026. CHENG, Cheng, not ANG. A lot of people thought it's ANG. So CHENG, Nelson Cheng. So but please vote for me. Cheng for change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cheng. Now, I can't verify your claims that dogs and cats have been more harmed under the Bass administration, but that's Nelson Cheng. That is his claim that pets have been harmed under. Again, thank you so much for being here. Can you give that website out one more time?
So I only have Instagram.
Okay.
So you can go to my Instagram, Nelson Cheng for LA Mayor 2026.
All right, there you have it, folks. Just like that, this time goes by so fast. We're here all week. The KBS. Hey, Miles, thank you so much, brother. You kept me on time this time. I appreciate it. Folks, make sure you lock in to stay update with all the things that we have happening right here on KBLA Talk 1580. If you haven't followed us, hit us up on social. Hit me up at James Farr Live. I'm also across all of the social media platforms. I'll be here tomorrow. I guess, like they say, I'm here all week, but I'll be here tomorrow. More candidates, more coverage. Tavis Smiley is up next, and he has an amazing show. Boy, I'm gonna have my pen out taking some notes until I have another opportunity to speak with you. As always, Agape.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady in what may be his final press briefing as chair. Jerome Powell said the economy is growing at a solid pace, but warned the war with Iran is adding uncertainty.
Developments in the Middle East are contributing